is In the Know for Thursday. It's March 20, the 79th day of 2025. There are 286 days left in the year. Good morning, MB. Guiding you through In the Know at K105. On Litchfield's Country Station, 1039 The Moose. Live online at K105.com. Via the Apple and Android smartphone app using the SoundCloud, iTunes, or Spotify podcast. On Facebook, on YouTube, on the platform formerly known as Twitter, and the hashtag is In the Know. Coming up today, we'll update you on the latest news headlines from around the community, the county, the Commonwealth, and the country. We will lock in our brackets this morning, ready for the tournament to begin. And we will have a visit from Barry Williams from ECTC's Litchfield campus. I have a feeling our vocabulary is going to get expanded today. That and a whole lot more coming up today here on In the Know. Settling into my left, rolling Mach 9 with her hair on fire, is my beautiful wife, the beautiful girl. It's Beach. Good morning, sweetheart.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm good.
You don't have allergies.
No.
And you don't have a cold. You don't
I
have
do
anything.
not.
But what you do have is a brand new spanking real ID.
I do.
You're a real ID holder.
I am a real ID holder.
Do you feel like a big adult now, like you're all grown up?
I really did some adulting yesterday. Yes. I put that off for quite some time.
Was it a relatively easy process?
So I get tickled. I said this out loud at least 2 times while I was there. So I don't know what's going on over here with this mic. Okay. So I went in with very low expectations as far as I took a big bag. So, you park in Egypt and walk. So this big bag got heavy. But anyway, I'm going to tell the whole story. So I'm carrying this big bag. I go in with low expectations. I have no idea. This line is all the way down this inside-outside type hallway. Okay. And I'm looking, and I'm like, okay, all right. But there's nowhere that says appointment, right? And you can't get in the door. So some sweet girl looks at me because she can tell that I have no idea. And she said, do you have an appointment?
Mm-hmm.
I said, I do. And so she's in the waiting line, right? And she said, you can go in. There's a space in there. I said, really? Thank you so much. Sweet young girl. Thank you, honey. So I go on in, and I get in that line, and my appointment is for 12:30. So that was a relatively quick, okay, you're here. Everything had already popped up on my phone. I showed it to her. She said, you will get a text or a shout out. Just have a seat if you can find one. Okay. So I found a seat. I waited. And again, low expectations because I took things to do. I was there from 12:30 until pushing 2. Once I got back there, it was great. But what I noticed is there's language barriers that need to be addressed. So anyway, I say all that to say, when I'd said low expectations, at least one of the times, one of the workers there got tickled. He said, they should teach that in school. Like,
lots of things they should teach at school.
I'm like, so it was not bad, and I feel very grown up.
We went to the same place, and
Yes.
because that's where the appointments were available,
Yes.
and you're right, the queue is misleading.
It is
For
very misleading.
The standby line keeps people away from the appointment line, and
There you go.
if you have no idea, it's like, oh, you need to cut the line and go on up. So yeah, it's kind of a confusing thing. But there
Yeah.
you go. So you
Well,
met the
yeah.
May 7 deadline.
I did.
We've only been dealing with real ID for 20 years now. The law was passed in 2005. He is the 5-time winner of the coveted Ohio News Hawk Award. He's the 2-time Silver Sound nominee. Covering every corner of the globe, London, Budapest, Rio, Tokyo, and even Litchfield. He's Sam Gormley and the sports. Morning, Sam.
Morning, Ralph.
Happy spring.
I don't think so.
It is officially spring. It may not
Did-
look
did-
like it.
did
but
you
it
go
is
outside?
spring. Yes, I've been outside in the last 10 minutes.
I think it was 40 degrees is what my ALEXA said.
Doesn't feel spring-like at all.
No.
Where does spring rank in your favorite season list, Sam?
It's up there.
Yeah, is it 1 or 2?
I don't know. I mean, it might be 1. Part of it is because spring means what happens to starts today begins, and spring also usually means opening days right around the corner.
Yeah, I have a hard time. I love summer. I really do. But it's the summer that paves the way. It's the spring that paves the way to the summer. And so because of Easter and because of rebirth and because of just, I have a hard time. Like summer might be one, but then spring would be 1A. And I'm not so sure at certain times I wouldn't put spring ahead. But your favorite is fall still, correct? Hello?
Oh, yes.
Yes,
Yes, it is. Sorry. That was important.
Yeah, 54% of Americans say fall is their
Yes,
favorite
fall is
season.
my favorite.
23% love the spring the most. 20% choose summer. The only downside of summer is that it gets a little hot. But spring gets a little cold.
I'll take a little hot over a little cold.
Yeah,
Me
suppose
too.
you're right.
And usually in the middle of June, we're not getting 6 inches of snow.
Usually, yes, that's right. At least in our neck of the woods. Dreary and chilly to start to spring. We're going to see scattered showers and wind chills in the 30s over the next 12 hours. Before I give you the next 3 days forecast or the next couple of days, most of Saturday, when you look ahead, is going to be dry before rain takes over the region on Sunday. So we'll see windy, showery today, a high of 46, decreasing clouds tonight, an overnight low of 31, so back below freezing tonight. And for tomorrow, we'll see some morning sun, afternoon clouds, and a high of 60 degrees is what you can expect. Time got away from us yesterday. I didn't get a chance to ask Whitney that the state is celebrating its first Agriculture Education Week and doing things a little more focused this year on helping bring awareness and education to our next generation. It's a statewide focus on agriculture education, and the diverse world of agriculture kicked off this week, continues through tomorrow. So it's been a week-long celebration. It's an initiative created by Jonathan Schell, the Ag Commissioner, along with Lieutenant Governor Jacqueline Coleman, and the Education Commissioner Robbie Fletcher, introduces students to the wide variety of careers and pathways agriculture has to offer. So your students may be coming home this week and talking about things that are in that sphere that they might not ordinarily, and maybe that will explain why. 2 fire departments responded to a large woods fire in Big Clifty. The East Grayson and Clarkson fire departments responded to the fire in the wooded area in the 600 block of Lake and Skaggs Road. This happened Tuesday evening, just before 6 o'clock. The fire, which possibly began with a spark as a power company was restoring electricity, charred between 2 and 3 acres of woodlands. Took the firefighters about 20 to 25 minutes to bring that blaze under control, and got it extinguished fully in about 40 minutes. We are in a, it's, you're not supposed to be burning between 6 and 6. This wasn't a result of people burning, but just a reminder, no burning between 6 and 6 or within, 100 feet, 200 feet of a wooded area. So this is an important time of year to pay attention to your burning. The Litchfield City Council met on Monday, and we covered a portion of that meeting yesterday and kind of talked at length. But the other items that you need to be aware of coming away from the meeting, they received a bid to outfit the new Litchfield Fire Department ladder truck. It was a bid for $119,000, accepted on the condition that the price of the installation won't change between now and when the equipment arrives for the new truck. They expect that to be mid-May, but delays are not uncommon, so they are just preparing for whenever that truck does arrive. The council did accept a recommendation from the Planning Commission to rezone 617 Johnson Street from R2 to C1, and then they were in executive session for about 12 minutes discussing the possible sale of some property. A huge marijuana grow operation has been busted in Meade County. The sheriff's office there said detectives responded to a tip regarding a cultivating growing operation of marijuana. At the scene, they found a full operation inside the residence and barn. They seized multiple items and used in the operation and about 157 plants in all stages of growth. They arrested one person, and I don't think that identity had been released yet. Perhaps they are trying to leverage that against some other information. The family of a Breckinridge County man killed when a suspect fleeing a state trooper crashed into his vehicle is suing the pursuing trooper. So you may recall this story goes back to March 10 of last year, so I guess 53 weeks ago. And about 5:30, a trooper was conducting speed enforcement on the Joe Prather Highway near Flaherty in Meade County when the trooper observed an '09 Ford Fusion traveling at a high rate of speed. The trooper attempted a traffic stop, but the Ford fled. And so the pursuit then turned onto Highway 333 before entering Breckinridge County. Then they got to the intersection of McDonald Lane and Highway 333. That Ford crossed the center line into the path of an '09 Jeep Wrangler, which was driven by a man from Custer, who is a 40-year-old Jordan Lynch. He was airlifted to U of L, where he passed away June 1st. His 14-year-old daughter was in the vehicle with him. She was airlifted to Norton's Children's Hospital. She did survive her injuries. But the driver of the fleeing vehicle, a 51-year-old Rodney Richards of Radcliffe, was pronounced deceased to the scene by the Breckinridge County Coroner's Office. There is legal representation for the family of Jordan Lynch, and they are now pursuing the state police trooper. The family says the chase lasted about 8.5 minutes and reached speeds of 110 miles an hour on two-lane highways. Their attorney says the pursuit should have never happened, and said the trooper disregarded state police policy and basic safety considerations resulting in this tragedy, and it's because there were not any life-threatening circumstances involved. You hear of these nationally. You don't necessarily hear of them very frequently in our area, but you see that in law enforcement communities more and more, where pursuits are called off. If you watch, On Patrol Live or shows like that, you see where departments are coming up with some erring on the side of caution protocols so to not endanger the other motoring public in trying to pursue someone. The downside of that then is people who are lawbreakers, if they know that, then perhaps they're more likely to run and endanger. And so it's it's hard to find the balance between those two, and unsure how that legal action will go. But I have some suspicions on how it might go. Yesterday, Governor Beshear issued his first veto this year of legislation passed by the General Assembly. The bill relates to employees of the Department of Agriculture that would allow some workers to apply for loans or grants administered by that office. It's House Bill 216, passed the House and Senate by unanimous votes. It would allow employees of the Department of Agriculture, except those employed within the Office of Ag Policy, to participate in, apply for, or receive funds, awards, or contracts administered by the Department Kentucky Office of Agricultural Policy. So the governor said that he didn't feel like that this was a move by our ag commissioner. He said that they have a good working relationship. He also noted that there's not any prohibition in the bill to prevent the person who decides the grant or loan recipient. So that is to say, so long as you're not in the Office of Ag Policy, you could be on the very board and be an applicant for a loan or a grant and be involved in the giving and the receiving. And so that does strike me as a little bit odd. I guess I would like to hear some explanation from the legislature on what's the motivating factor here. Why did we feel like this is a good idea? Because on the surface, we wouldn't typically allow scenarios like that to exist. Let's use a local example. Let's take a person who maybe serves on a board in the Agricultural Commission, maybe as an employee or an appointed person, who is also Warren Beeler comes to mind. Warren Beeler, very knowledgeable and obviously has a successful operation, but then works in state government because of his knowledge of agriculture. We are disqualifying him from grants or loans. And again, I'm just using him as an example. We would be disqualifying him from utilizing state resources in these programs because he's being penalized because we need his knowledge on the other side. Now, that's about the only argument that I think one could practically make on why this legislation was necessary. But the governor has vetoed it. Clearly, the legislature can override it next week if they want to do that, and we'll find out if they do. The Senator Rand Paul, the current junior senator from Kentucky, and some other House and Senate colleagues have He has joined in a bipartisan letter to President Trump urging him to work directly with Chinese government to resolve the bureaucratic impasse preventing American families from completing adoptions that had been approved before China shut down in its intercountry adoption program. So I did not know that back in August, the Chinese government had shut down their adoption policy, their intercountry adoption policy. Historically, the Chinese government has wanted rid of all their female children. So it had been much easier to adopt a baby girl from China over the years. But for whatever reason, the Chinese government just stopped that program suddenly in August. And what happened was there were adoptions that were underway. They just gave a complete and total pause and said, we're not even going to follow through on the ones that are in the works or planned, or we were a day away from going to get our new baby. And so we've got members of Congress who have joined in a letter, including Guthrie and Morgan McGarvey, have joined in this letter asking President Trump to work diplomatically to try and get these resolved. They're not necessarily even saying, hey, turn this process back on. Let's just get these finalized that we're needing. So anyway, we'll see how that goes. Today is opening day for the Grayson County Lady Cougar softball team. Samuel, where would the Lady Cougars be today?
They're at Barron County tonight, and the Cougar boys, the baseball team, is at Ohio County, at least scheduled to be. So it's a chilly opening day for the softball team.
I will also tell you, Ohio County got a lot of rain last night, so I don't know about their playing conditions.
They might have a turf field.
Okay, well, if they do, then that will help them. But there was a big amount of rain that moved through that area last night because it moved through our area as well. Brackets, Sam, have you finalized and locked in your bracket officially? Is it frozen in time, or are you still working on it?
Still tweaking. That's I've been kind of going back and forth between tabs and so on, and looking at a couple of different options and seeing what I do. But we got a nice little group.
Yeah, we do have a healthy group. What is yours locked?
I mean, unless something happens today that lands in my lap or in my ear or a lightning bolt of some sort, I am finished.
Okay.
Even with my little point thingy.
All right. Oh, the total points, because that's the tiebreaker. Yeah, you got to come up with.
Yeah, I had to Google
with
that.
a combined score. That's usually a pretty good way to do it. I often do that as well. So,
yeah.
Sam, do you know your national champion? Your picked national champion?
Oh yeah. That one wasn't going to change no matter what.
And who did you go with?
I can't tell. I mean,
I can look. I can log in and look.
You might copy. You got to wait an hour and a half for that.
Oh my goodness.
Florida.
No, I can during the break. I can log in.
You have Florida?
Yes.
I picked Duke.
I've got I have Florida in the championship game as well. It was just I kind of played it region by region. I didn't go all first round and then didn't go all second round. I played the region to its conclusion.
I did too.
And then just ended up with that Final Four. But I did say yesterday, Sam, you heard my note that I left myself a note in the future that said no South Carolina, no Mississippi State. Mississippi State is in the tournament.
South Carolina's not, yeah.
Rest assured, I did not take Mississippi State because my previous self told me not to.
So
just
you're probably telling me that I should pick Mississippi State then today, since you're not picking them. It'll probably automatically win, right?
Yeah, it's probably the Bulldogs will win. Got to get to a break. Going to have a conversation with our good friend Barry Williams from ECTC's Litchfield campus. He's in our bracket contest. Maybe he'll tell us who he picked as his national champion. Coming up here on In the Know.
At Owensboro Health Family Medicine in Litchfield, Dr. Priyank Chauhan provides compassionate care for adults and seniors. Board certified in internal and geriatric medicine, he's dedicated to managing chronic conditions, preserving independence, and enhancing the quality of life. Proudly serving Grayson County, because your health matters. Schedule today. Call Owensboro Health Family Medicine in Litchfield at 270-259-8888.
The mobile unit from Intensive Health brings trusted, high-quality addiction treatment right to your community. Serving 5 counties, including Grayson, our innovative services offer telehealth treatment, mental health counseling, medical health assessments, primary care, and general medical services. We also offer hepatitis C and HIV screenings and treatment. No more long travels for essential care. We are discreet and accessible. Visit intensivehealth.com to find out more. A StepWorks recovery service.
When buying or selling a home, you want experience, trust, and personal touch. But they say you can only pick two. Well, with Gina Lastly at Tom Baxter Real Estate, you get all three. With a decade of expertise as a broker, Gina's attention to detail and passion for real estate make her a trusted friend and professional. She goes above and beyond to ensure your real estate journey is smooth and successful.
I'm Gina Lasley. Put my passion for real estate to work for you. Call me now at 217-721-0034.
Discover the difference at TomBaxterRealEstate.com.
Yellowwood knows that a five-star backyard is the place to make lasting memories. Like cookouts. Cornhole with friends. Ooh, a neighborhood potluck with your wife's pasta salad. The one with the feta. Oh, sorry. Or taking a nap on your deck in a hammock. Naps are memories. I love naps. For five-star backyards and the most memorable experiences, Yellowwood brand pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have that yellow tag, you don't want it.
Joey from Vermont, a farmer trying to get through the winter. Adriana from South Carolina, a single mother living paycheck to paycheck. Liam from Ohio, an injured father struggling to provide for his family. Hi, I'm Shanola Hampton, and I support the Feeding America network of food banks because they help provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year. Learn more at feedingamerica.org.
Thinking about furthering your education? At Elizabethtown Community and Technical College, you'll get a high-quality education close to home at a cost that won't break the bank. Enjoy small class sizes with professors who take a personal interest in your success. Scholarships are still available, making our low tuition even more affordable. ECTC's Litchfield campus is now enrolling for classes that start May 11th. Visit elizabethtown.kctcs.edu to get started. ECTC, College for the Real World.
Amazon Echo will soon be sharing information with Amazon servers, and users can't opt out. The Do Not Send Voice Recordings feature will come to an end on March 28th. A company spokesperson said they are expanding Alexa's capabilities with generative AI features that rely on the processing power of Amazon's secure cloud. Elon Musk's xAI has acquired AI video generator Hotshot. The move suggests that xAI is looking to directly compete with OpenAI's Sora and Google's Veo 2 in AI video generation. Financial terms have not been disclosed. In a post on X, Hotshot CEO Akash Sastry says he's excited to be scaling his efforts on xAI's supercomputer Colossus. And the 2025 Game Developers Conference is underway in San Francisco. The theme of this year's world's largest games industry gathering is Connecting the World Through Games. 725 sessions, workshops, roundtable discussions, and networking events alongside 400 exhibitors on the expo's floor. Tech Report, I'm Mark Mayfield.
Today is spring arrives. Of course, we talked about at the beginning of the show. It is Ravioli Day today. It is Won't You Be My Neighbor Day. We'll tell you why that is coming up at the end of the show. It is also Hufflepuff Pride Day today. Hufflepuff Pride Day. And it's also the day we say good morning and welcome back to Barry Williams from ECTC's Litchfield campus. Good morning, Barry. How are you?
Good morning. Hey, you guys, if you're in the Hopkinsville area and want to celebrate Ravioli Day, we've got a little restaurant here called Da Vinci's Little Italian Restaurant. And man, they have a really good ravioli dish.
I heard about that on your podcast, actually. I think you talked about Da Vinci's that day.
Yeah, I think we did.
One of your shows. I wanted to ask you, as a fan of cinema and being a professor, do you have a sorting hat? Do you, at the beginning of every 8-week advantage with your students, do you sort them into Slytherin and Gryffindor and Hufflepuff, etc.?
You know, not per se. However, I am pretty decent at, within the first week, recognizing which students are probably going to get through the class with an A and which ones are probably going to struggle. Now, I don't know if that would be a Gryffindor or Slytherin thing. I guess maybe they're sliding by the skin of their teeth. I don't know. That's probably a stretch. But yeah, I don't know if all the teachers sort their students that way, but yeah, you can kind of figure it out.
I think it's an indicator that you have the wisdom of Dumbledore more than it has to do with what house they might belong to.
Yeah, I appreciate that. There are days I feel pretty stupid, but yeah, I'll take the wisdom of Dumbledore any day. I am like him, getting to where I have to have glasses, so not half moon spectacles.
And your beard's not quite that long or white yet, but eventually it will get there, I suppose.
You know, I stand a long beard. I have tried to grow it out. My father-in-law's got this immaculate long beard. I mean, he's like Santa Claus walking around, and mine gets long, and then I just start pulling on it like a nervous squirrel.
Yeah.
And it is good.
You just want to be Hemingway, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what you need. Hey, Barry, we had a story a couple of days ago that I wanted to kind of park until today because I thought it was very helpful in storytelling. And the headline says that the KCTCS shows a 7.1% increase in spring enrollment. Board meeting recently held and showed just up a 7% gain over one period, like the equivalent of one semester or one season, is significant, and it's continuing an upward trend. The overall head count for spring, 71,489 students. I know I've just taken a ball and put it up on the tee for you to hit it over the fence, but why is that? Why are we up 7%?
Yeah, that's an incredible statistic, and I think there are a number of factors that are contributing to that, and some of them are great and some of them are unfortunate. One of the great ones is, of course, you know, we have seen a spike in our dual credit enrollment. So a lot of high school students are getting serious about their college futures at a younger age, and we just had a big event over spring break, welcoming in over 200 or 300 Grayson County high school seniors to come in and talk to us about at college. And I think I saw more hands raised saying that they were going to ECTC in the fall than I had seen in any of the previous years that we've done this. Another thing I think that's going to contribute to that enrollment is the closing of Bell Cheese. You know, Bell Cheese is going away. That's been a fixture in Litchfield for a long time. And one of my students, in fact, is a Bell Cheese employee. And, you know, she's now trying to navigate raising her family, being a full-time student, and finding another source of income. I mean, that factory's been really good with those employees and trying to help them with severance packages. But still, that's been a part of that community and people's lives for a long time. Now it's not.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I hadn't considered, I had thought of a few of the ways that that the enrollment was up, but I liked the way that you explained it. Historically, if you were to survey a 17-year-old and say, are you a student at Grayson County High School or are you a student at ECTC, it would have been one or the other, and now the answer can be both. So you're automatically bringing a new crop of students in because of the dual credit. I would also wonder, Barry, we've spent 50 years telling people, you got to go get a traditional 4-year degree. You got to go get a traditional 4-year degree. And over the last decade, we've done a much better job of saying, that isn't necessarily the case to be successful in multiple metrics that you might be using in life. So I think people are hearing that as an opportunity. But are we also still dealing with a group of young people now that are dealing with unique challenges that are post-COVID? Like if you roll the clock back on where these high school seniors were when COVID began, they had a very tumultuous season in the middle of their formative years that may be reshaping their thinking some.
I think you're absolutely right. I'm still dealing with the fallout from COVID, although now the generation of students I have now, they were in 7th and 8th grade when COVID hit, but nonetheless, still affected by it, still reeling from it.
Sure.
And you mentioned changing attitudes about the 4-year degree. And I think that's also part of the reason for our enrollment spike is there's a real emphasis in work readiness and developing career or degree pathways and certification pathways that put students directly in line for a job. And because of our partnerships with Western and U of L, we have this new center, the Robbins University Center, and we're going to be expanding the number of 4-year degrees we're offering through the Robbins University Center, and kind of being selective with those degree programs to make sure that they do put students on the pathway to a career.
The other thing you touched on there that keynoted a metric that I saw was that across the system, there was a almost 10% increase in students aged 25 or over, and now from the now almost 31%, if we round up, of total enrollment is age 25 or higher. Just as a ballpark, do you know the rough age of your oldest student that you have in a class?
The rough age of my oldest student, I believe, is in her 60s.
Okay. And so I guess you have all the way 60 to 17. You have anyone younger than 17?
I think I've got a 16-year-old.
Okay.
I think I've got somebody who is either a sophomore in college or sophomore, in high school, or they just have a really early birthday. And so we ended up having them, which is sort of strange because now I have a student that's the age of my daughter
Yeah.
in my college
Yeah,
class.
well,
That's bizarre.
Yeah, it happens without a doubt. And so I think that further drives home the point as far as the age of your eldest student is no matter what crossroads you find yourself in life, whether it's job displacement or perhaps marital change or suddenly maybe you become a widow and you didn't expect to be, et cetera. There are some great opportunities that don't require 4 years of traditional education that you can go back and really embrace and lean into and change your circumstance.
Exactly, and it's such a blessing and such a dichotomy where you've got this one student who's talking about going and getting her permit, and the other one's talking about going to the Social Security office about filing for benefits. So you're on both extremes here of this spectrum, and I love it. And when I am putting students in groups for different activities, I try as best I can to mingle these young students with these non-traditional students, as we call them, so that they can mine that experience that you just can't substitute life experience. You just can't.
There's a story in the news today that I also think drives home a point that we try and share most frequently. If you're Eli Capilouto and you're steering the University of Kentucky, you're at the helm of this big ship, and you got to be kind of steady on the wheel, and it's slow to turn, and it doesn't navigate particularly. It's not very agile. But the KCTCS system and the individual colleges of the system, to me, appear to be very agile in the sense that if there's a localized need, you can custom tailor a certification or a curriculum to meet that need. You can adjust quickly on the fly in ways that large institutions can't. And I use this headline today. The Madisonville Community College got a national award because of their ability to create a program that dealt specifically with Webster County and displacement from the coal industry in Webster County. So your neighbors to the north up in Hopkins County, they were able to really react quickly in a way that solved a localized problem. And that exists across all of the campuses of the KCTCS system.
Absolutely. You go over to our sister college in Somerset and the things they've been doing with 3D print technology, applying it to concrete print houses to help with people who are displaced by not this past flooding, but the flooding that happened a couple of years ago. It's just amazing. And then, of course, what we're doing with Blue Oval and the partnership there with the new plant that's opening up. And and I think our vernal enrollment is a testimony to how we are adaptable and flexible. And that's something a two-year school can do that a university is more challenged to do because of their size and the number of programs that they have.
Yeah, it's just a localized specific opportunity. Do me the service of Cindy is a tremendous leader at your all's campus. And I know how highly regarded she is by the staff and the faculty there. I know how highly regarded she is by the community as well. We are most often byproducts of what we are shown by our parents. And she recently lost her mom. And I have a feeling that many of the ways that you all benefit from her leadership is a direct result of the influence of her mom. So indirectly, she was also important to you all.
Absolutely. She has a very matronly influence on that campus. She's there, and you can see, some people, they come and they do a job, and it's their job, and they're punching the time clock, and they can't wait to get out of there. But Cindy, so much of her identity is the staff and the students and the faculty. I mean, we become like a family. That's one of the beauties of the Litchfield campus being here, is its size and its makeup is so unique and so welcoming, I think, to students. And so if folks have been putting off coming to college, now that we have the vernal enrollment season in place, if they're putting it off because they're afraid it's going to be too off-putting and intimidating, come on in. It's a great way of having a family-like experience. And right now, Cindy's hurting. Her mother passed away, and when she hurts, we hurt, and we're grieving with her. But we're holding down the fort.
Well, and there's connectivity, there's context between Whitney, who was here yesterday. They share a last name. She's Cindy is Whitney's mother-in-law, so we've kind of been going through that season of loss with her as well. So I just wanted to take the time from the faculty perspective to share that on behalf of your team there at ECTC Litchfield. I have heard you at the beginning of the show today. I said, I have a feeling we're going to expand our vocabulary today. You have used a word, I think I've heard it twice, so I'm going to guess that our new word our word that we're learning today is going to be vernal. Is that correct?
Vernal, you got it.
Okay, so that would mean, Jim Varney, his character, when he would say, "Hey, Vern." So when
Ernest P. Worrell.
When Ernest, when he goes to jail, is that being vernal when he does that? Like, "Hey, Vern."
Not quite, but that's close.
Is it the opposite of? Is it the opposite of autumnal?
Although when a vernal season arises, you do feel like you're getting out of prison.
Yes.
Although not so much. I am not dressed for a vernal occasion today.
You're wearing your autumnal outfit. You're not wearing your vernal outfit today.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Share with the class what vernal means.
So vernal is a fancy word that means spring. It comes from the Latin vir, which means spring. And so even though we've had our vernal equinox and it signals the beginning of spring, with it possibly spitting snow today and blustery, it sure doesn't feel very spring-like, does it?
It does not. Will you be standing an egg on its end today, or at least giving it a try?
Oh, it's a good idea. I think I might. Just see what happens.
Yeah, share that with your spouse. I know she's under the weather. She'll really like the tricks of standing an egg on the end.
Of course, if it breaks, there goes like what, $5?
That's absolutely the humanity of that. Barry, my friend, always a pleasure. Good luck on your bracket challenge. We'll check in with you again soon.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. That's Barry Williams, ECTC's Litchfield campus. Always great to catch up. Going to get to a break. We'll come back. Got today's Did You Know coming right up here on In the Know.
Right back in color. Blacks depreciate. If we're not careful, we'll be back segregated.
Every child deserves the best teachers, facilities, and academic programs to set them up for success both now and in the future. At Milton Hershey School in Hershey, Pennsylvania, we make that a reality for children from qualifying families who are looking for greater opportunities. Milton Hershey School enrolls students from pre-K through 12th grade from across the United States to live and learn on a beautiful state-of-the-art campus with all costs covered. Students who are accepted to Milton Hershey School have access to a top-tier education, along with healthcare, meals, housing, and fully funded career pathways to pursue whatever they're passionate about, from performing arts to internships to coding. Students can even accrue up to $95,000 to continue their education after high school, thanks to the generosity of chocolatier Milton Hershey and his wife, Catherine. Are you looking to set your child up for success or know a child who could benefit from Milton Hershey School? Learn more at mhskids.org/admissions.
Joey from Vermont, a farmer trying to get through the winter. Adriana from South Carolina, a single mother living paycheck to paycheck. Liam from Ohio, an injured father struggling to provide for his family. Hi, I'm Shanola Hampton, And I support the Feeding America network of food banks because they help provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year. Learn more at feedingamerica.org.
Every child deserves to feel safe, heard, and loved. Right now, there are children in our community facing tough times, and they need someone to stand by their side. That someone could be you.
My name is Misty, and I'm the 4-H Extension Agent from LaRue County, and I'm a proud CASA volunteer.
My name is Debbie Childress, and I'm the Executive Director of the Grayson County Alliance, and I'm a proud CASA volunteer.
My name is Kitty Smith. I am a proud CASA volunteer from Meade County. You can be a CASA too.
It only takes a few hours a month to make a lasting impact. Your voice can help a child find hope and stability during the most difficult moments. Visit CASAHeartland.org or call us today to learn more. Help us build brighter futures one child at a time.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With private healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready, and health insurance is your financial safety net. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, give us a call at 800-961-1527. That's 800-961-1527. 800-961-1527.
K105 weather from the Wave Storm Tracking Team is brought to you by Smith Overhead.
Oh. It's just seeing a lot of silly Google searches.
I'm suddenly pondering. Well, Sam brought it up, so I thought I would ask him. I'd be like, okay, Samuel, is anyone snickering at your Google searches?
I mean, you never know, right? I mean, everybody's got a Google search that you never know, right?
That's true. What was that? Yeah, SNL. After a 2-week hiatus, they are returning for some big hosts and musical guests. Mikey Madison, fresh off winning the Oscar for Best Actress in Anora, will host March 29th. Morgan Wallen will be the musical guest. You might remember some level of controversy involving Morgan Wallen in December 2020. He went out like the night before or 2 nights before his SNL appearance, violating the COVID protocol, so they dumped him last minute. And they have brought him back once since, but he will be back again on the 29th. Jack Black is hosting for the 4th time on April 5th. That will coincide with the release of the Minecraft movie. Comes out April 4th. Elton John and Brandi Carlile will be the musical guests for that episode. That will coincide with their CBS special that they are going to have on. John Hamm is going to, he was on the SNL 50 show. He's going to host April 12th with Lizzo. as musical guest. Did you all know Lizzo's name is Melissa? That's where Lizzo came from. Lissa
I did not
came
know
in,
that.
turned into Lizzo. I was reading that today on a group of stage names by celebrities and where they came from. It kind of struck me as odd. Emma Stone, she's not, that was a tribute to the Spice Girls. I think one of the Spice Girls, her favorite Spice Girl's real name was Emma. Lady Gaga, I had always known that Lady Gaga's name had to do with the Queen song Radio Gaga, which I really love. There was a producer that she started, a music producer, that said that she reminded him of the Queen song that I just told you about. So he just started calling me Gaga whenever I'd come into the studio. And when I had to pick a stage name, I just said, how about Lady Gaga? And it stuck. You know, she has her Stephanie or Stefani, Stafini is how you actually spell her name. And Germanota is her last name. Chapel Roan. Chapel was her grandfather's surname. So she decided she would take it because she thought it was unique. Post Malone's real name is Austin Post. He was a rapper when he was 14. He wanted to be a rapper, and he did one of those things where you run your name into a rap name generator, and it spit out Post Malone, and so that's just what he went with. So he used it for the purpose intended. Nicolas Cage is actually Nicholas Coppola, and he's the nephew of Francis Ford Coppola. Lizzo's name is Melissa Jefferson. Cardi B is Belcalis Almanzar. Now, if you were to go call Cardi B a bell cow, she would punch you out. But her name sounds like it, Belcalis. Her sister's name is Hennessy. So because her name is Hennessy, they started calling Cardi B Bacardi.
I mean, it's not a big
So
leap.
it just got shortened to Cardi B.
Yeah.
And then, of course, as I'm telling you something you obviously already know, Snoop Dogg is not Calvin Brodus because his mom called him Snoopy. It's because he watched him so much. He said, you watch Snoopy so much that you're just turning into Snoopy.
If you think about it, he's a lot like Snoopy.
Yeah, I mean, he is. It is weird how he has ended up looking like a dog. You know, I don't know if that was by design. Big Bang Theory is getting another spinoff. So it's spun off into Young Sheldon. Mm-hmm. And then that spun off into Georgie and Mandy's first wedding, or first marriage. Well, now they're spinning off another way. The Stewart character, who owned the comic book store,
okay.
is a new Max series called Stewart Fails to Save the Universe.
Oh.
That character is so deadpan, you know, and so self-deprecating, and well, not self-deprecating, but deprecating through life circumstance.
Yeah.
So I guess it could be okay. It's an odd choice.
It is a very odd
I mean,
choice.
they didn't go with Wallowitz. You know, they could have gone with Raj. They could have.
Yeah, if it had been Wallowitz,
No, thank you.
No. Yeah, I'm more interested in this than. Now, I did love Raj.
Will they ever go back to? Will they ever jump over Big Bang Theory to life after Sheldon and Amy get married?
I hope so.
You know, because they do some of that in the narration of young Sheldon. They do some foreshadowing to things to come. There are some Easter eggs in there that if you were to listen closely enough in young Sheldon, answer some questions that you always had during Big Bang Theory. So it would be interesting to see if they will ever go into the future, because I think we would like to see that.
I would like to see how, shaming, how they're raising their baby.
Yeah, exactly. Like we had always speculated
Yeah.
that they would be a dunderhead.
Yeah.
Like the two of them would be so smart they'd have a dunderhead for a child. But it'd be interesting to see. We got to get to a break. We'll come back and finish it up for the morning here on In the Know.
Question: how do you build a great life? Answer: you don't settle for a good one. That simple principle is what encouraged Jeff Bezos to create Amazon, the second largest retailer in the world behind Walmart. Bezos already made a good living on Wall Street, but he had a crazy idea: sell books on the internet. Crazy because in 1994, the internet was new technology. In fact, online shopping was so unusual that when Bezos first dreamed up his idea for it, his boss took him on a 2-hour walk through Central Park to talk him out of it. He told Bezos, "You have a good idea, but it's risky. Plus, you already have a good job." To decide what to do, Bezos projected himself forward. He imagined himself at 80 years old and asked, "Will I regret letting this opportunity pass me by?" In the end, he decided that he could live with failure, but he couldn't live with not trying. And the rest, as they say, is history. But it all started with his willingness to risk something good so he could pursue something great. What about you? Are you considering a job change, marriage counseling, relocating to a new city? How will you decide whether to move forward or sit back? Project yourself into the future and ask, will I regret letting this opportunity pass me by? And remember, decide what you want out of life and boldly step forward and go for it. For Focus on the Family, I'm Jim Daly.
The words you are about to hear are taken from letters sent in by members of the Trinity Debt Management Program.
Dear Trinity, today I'm making my final credit card payment.
Before I came to you, I was in a constant state of anxiety and panic, but now there is hope for my family's financial future.
Working with Trinity made me understand that I'm not alone.
You really do help people.
Your kindness will never be forgotten. Without Trinity's support, I would not have achieved my lifelong goal of becoming debt-free.
We saved a lot on interest and penalties, of course, but the reward was the gift of human kindness.
Trinity has carried me through a very difficult time in my life. You're amazing.
I used to feel so anxious and hopeless. Now I feel grace and peace.
God bless Trinity as you continue to help others become debt-free.
If credit card debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976. That's 1-800-990-6976.
MB's point to ponder for today is the byproduct of some concerning news that I got today. The headline says this. It says Skippy is coming for Reese's with peanut butter bunny releases for Easter. So the Skippy peanut butter brand has decided, oh yeah, well, we can do peanut butter bunnies as well.
Okay, good. Yours will be cheaper.
So what I'm pondering is, will these be any good?
I don't know. I guess you're going to find out.
I am.
So,
Yep.
so you're not going to get mad at them for quote unquote not staying in their lane?
No,
But-
I am, and that's my thing. Is
But
that
but
I am-
peeps can't do anything.
That's that's exactly my thing. Is I'm just
I
what
should
I would
really
like.
stay quiet sometimes
What I would
over
like
here.
to tell Skippy is, if you come for the king, you best not miss. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
But because Skippy, one, your peanut butter's not any good anyway. Because Jif probably, according to our household, is the best. But I was raised in a Peter Pan household. I got no room for Skippy in my life. One, your name is silly. Skippy.
see, I never can remember which peanut butter you raised on. So, okay, I guess in my mind it was just one of those.
It's, Disney.
Agreed.
Disney. Like, it's not that hard.
Now I can make that leap.
Peter Pan, yeah. I mean, obviously, Peter Pan is not limited to Disney
Right.
intellectual property, but
16 years. Look at that.
you could make that leap. Yeah, Peter Pan household, but now I do appreciate, because my mom clearly wasn't all that choosy.
She was choosy in her own right.
Well, I mean, choosy moms choose Jif, and she didn't choose Jif, so that says to me she's not choosy.
Okay, well.
One could make a conclusion she's not choosy by her peanut butter choice. That's all I'm saying.
One can sit over here and eat her yogurt and be quiet.
Today's highlight on TV tonight, the NCAA tournament is just on wall to wall. This is like, it'll
Louisville
start
plays in like an hour.
Do they?
Yeah, they have the opening game at 11:15.
Oh yeah, they do, don't they? Here's another point to ponder: Arkansas or Kansas?
See, I'm not I don't cheer against Cal. Like, I'm not that kind of person that's going to cheer against Cal, but I don't really like Kansas, so I'm going to cheer for Arkansas. And when Arkansas plays Pitino, like I said, we had this conversation a couple of weeks ago. I've never been alive in the time really where Pitino has been revered. So for me, it's weird to all of a sudden like this guy, whereas Cal for me has always been my guy. So I'll cheer for Arkansas in that game.
To be clear, I wouldn't put me in the category of liking Pitino.
But you probably like Pitino more than Cal now, right?
No, I wouldn't.
Really?
They're almost equal.
But see, for me, it's not even close.
I have a certain level. Maybe that's unfair. I think I still like Cal better because I think Cal's a better human. I think Cal's a better man, and so as a result, I don't want to relegate Cal to that. But I am limited to the amount of respect and what they both gave to the program, and that's kind of where. But it ended, and so that's what I really want to happen is I need Cal to flame out of the first round of the tournament again to prove that it was him. It is not the brand. It is not the university. It is him and his style that was causing the flameouts. And so he hasn't changed a bit. He's using the same style. I heard, was it Ryan that said yesterday they'll be worse with Boogie Flan than they were without him? I find that hard to believe, but at least someone conjectured that.
I mean, it's one of those things, if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of thing. And they've been playing well without him. So sometimes putting somebody back in can mess with the mojo.
Well, that happened at Kentucky a few times. Today's highlight in history. This day in 1995 in Tokyo, packages containing the deadly chemical sarin were opened in 5 separate subway train incidents. Birthdays today. Hal Linden, who played Barney Miller, is 94 today. Pat Riley is 80. Holly Hunter is 67. Spike Lee is 68. I skipped him. Kathy Ireland is 62 today. Gone but not forgotten. Ozzie Nelson in 1906. Carl Reiner in 1922. Mr. Rogers was born this date in 1928. That's why it's Won't You Be My Neighbor Day. It is Jerry Reed Day. We've already started introducing Brady to Daniel Tiger.
Yes.
So we're hoping he doesn't remember a time when there was not Daniel Tiger. There's lots of good life lessons from Daniel Tiger.
I don't know that I know
Jerry
that.
Reed in 1937. What'd you say?
I don't know. Do I know Daniel Tiger? Okay, I at least
Daniel
seen this.
Tiger is it's just basically an
okay,
a
so it's
toddler-
newer. Okay, so it's newer.
It's a young person's Mr. Rogers curriculum formatted through a stuffed animal type of.
So Daniel actually came from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, but they revamped him, and he has the same,
They used the life lessons that Mr. Rogers taught through Daniel Tiger's experiences. Like grown-ups always come back is one of the songs, So, Brian Mulroney, the former Prime Minister of Canada, was born in 1939. Moose friends, you're gone in 10 seconds, so good luck on your bracket. I hope all of your picks are correct, so long as they're the same picks that I made. Chart toppers. Let's go to 1955. Nat King Cole, number one, with I don't know if I can pronounce the name of this song.
Darling, je vous aime beaucoup.
Je vous aime beaucoup. Darling, je vous aime beaucoup. Thanks for the assist to old Nat there. I got it correct.
You know you.
Je vous aime beaucoup. That's not what I would have gone with. This one is something I can pronounce. This is Lefty Frizzell, Saginaw, Michigan, number one in 1964.
I was born
hitting the post.
in Saginaw, Michigan.
I was born
I grew up.
Bowling Green, Kentucky. Let's go to
And there he was.
1973, Roberta Flack. Just lost her a couple of weeks ago.
My eyes, I'm in my bed with his fingers.
One time.
Singing my life with his
Like, don't you have to do that in that song now? In
Yes,
the
you
original, don't you have to put the Fugees in there? Okay, Miss Buckles, here you go. 1982. Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, number one. Mariah Carey, Someday in 91. Never Let You Go, Third Eye Blind, 25 years ago today. Kelly Clarkson, My Life Would Really Stink Without You, in 2009. And Finesse from Belle Callis and Bruno Mars in 2018. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today says, spring is a lovely reminder of how beautiful change can be. Spring is a beautiful reminder of how beautiful change can truly be. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Remember, God loves you, and I do too. If you don't know Jesus, let me know, and I'll introduce you. Look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow for another edition of our show. For Sam Gormley, for Beej, I'm MB, and now you're in the know.
The Twin Lakes Best Mix is WKHG, Litchfield. The Twin